Trap Lil Ross used to be one of my favorite YouTubers back when I wasn't old, aka 22 years old. I would watch him and his roommate ordinary things all the time. The first video of his that I remember watching was how Frank Ocean finessed Def Jam out of $20 million. Cool video, editing was nice and calm, he was very down to earth, and very much so still pretty humorous in most of his own moments with that dry British sense of humor that a lot of them tend to have for some reason. But most of all, he actually really cared about the music. He liked Frank Ocean, you could clearly tell he had a passion for it. When watching the video, it was clear he seemed like a normal person. You know, loved Odd Future, respected legendary artists like Tricky Stewart when speaking about their influence on rap and R&B. It felt so genuine when he was speaking about other artists that came up like Kanye, Jay-Z, and even when he was speaking about Frank Ocean albums like Channel Orange, songs he dropped on SoundCloud, waiting for new Frank music. He just seemed in love with the music, you know, a true fan. From all that to the other references in rap, like, you know, Meek Mill falling down the IG staircase back in like 2016 or 2017, and everyone was clowning him, to finding the Endless album on Pornhub. Then, you know, when it gets towards the end of the video, he talks about how cool Frank's magazine launch was at the pop-up shops, which featured a bunch of cool collages, and they also had a really cool segment on Lil B, who was featured in the magazine. Mind you, Lil B is already a pretty niche artist. On top of this video, he also told a story about why Jay-Z shot his brother, R. Kelly suing Jay-Z, the Young Thug and Lil Wayne beef, Rick Ross and 50 Cent, Chris Brown and the guy that did everything first, Soulja Boy, of course, Yachty making $13 million in 6 months, his favorite Soulja Boy songs, which was actually really cool because not many people say they have favorite Soulja Boy songs, 50 Cent being worth over $100 million from Vitamin Water, and a ton more, which was personally the one that I found most interesting, the 50 Cent one. You look at these and they're mostly, you know, chill, lighthearted videos that are cool, not too much heavy stuff, and pretty cool to learn about as well, as a fan of music. You keep scrolling from the non-private videos, mid-2019, and then you get to around April 2nd, 2020, when it started to go wrong. The deadly beefs of NBA Youngboy, which is sitting pretty at about 2.5 million views. Then, October 2nd, 2020, the night that Rondo number 9 got 39 years in prison, which is currently sitting around 2.1 million. Now mind you, he's had a handful of other videos that have also hit the million+ view mark around that time, but none of them were gang related, none of them were violence related. He was speaking about the Kanye versus Drake when the Lift Yourself song dropped, even the trial of Tekashi 6ix9ine when he was a big thing, how Birdman finessed Lil Wayne for $51 million, and a few others all hit a million views, if not a little bit more than that. Ross is obviously, you know, white guy from normal part of the UK suburbs. He was introduced to rap around the elementary school age and found a little rap group with his friends, the Toxic Group. Cute. Now fast forward, he's an adult and he drops his Why Rappers Love the Maybach video. His editing, of course, stepped up, added some animations, goes into the history of it, talking about, you know, Ja Rule being the first rapper from New York to buy the Maybach, and a similar case with T.I. as well. Say hi, nigga. Say hi, nigga. Okay, I guess she wants to be a little bit racist right now, whatever. I was actually hoping that that was the video where he spoke about becoming worth at least $10 million because of some luck that he had running into an Apple executive, but that wasn't it. So I searched Trap Lil Ross $10 million, went to the first result, and boom. How Trap Lil Ross made $10 million before YouTube. He filmed a prank video at a local Apple store in England, I assume, and managed to run into Tim Cook. The Tim Cook. The bowing down to Trump and the blue and white country Tim Cook, running the trillion-dollar company Apple. He gave them the idea to acquire Beats by Dre, and if you don't remember, that was absolutely huge. That was basically just Apple Music before, massive at the time, and they were also sponsored in like every single music video back in the like 2014 to 2015 days. Also gave them the idea for these fuck-ass dongles that cost $7 bajillion fucking dollars to buy. It was a very much so commercial success, so Tim allegedly called him back and gave him $10 million worth of Apple stock. With his newfound riches, he decided to start YouTube and take content creation more seriously after winning at life, as most people would call it, and focusing on rap, the thing that he's loved since he was a kid. Cool, lucky and wholesome story, right? No, because from October 20 onward, after we got those 2 view spikes in the millions from talking about death and gang beef, he kept doing the same shit. From here, we have absolute bangers like Brutal Murder or Unfortunate Accident. Not saying this piece is just named Dark Truth. Chicago's Deadliest Gangs, THF. Did T Grizzly kill his aunt? He beat 2 bodies, 2 life sentences, and blew up online. Murder Capital, gang war in America's deadliest city. Rappers who killed their fans. 6 gruesome murders, 1 awful defense. But, funny thing, his 8 most recent videos are all about death and murder. We go back 1 to the 9th video, and it's about Virgil Abloh. Rest in peace, being a fashion fraud. Then we have the many murders of Mona Duke, the many murders of Top 5, the LA gangs that make everyone check in, the 051 Manly murders, Young Scooter's death, the downfall of LA's most dangerous crip, Playboy Cardi's gang war, model student turned serial killer. Do you notice the theme here? Are you seeing it? You know, like are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Someone absolutely loves to profit off of black pain and death in the genre that they allegedly love so much. If you want to do it occasionally or about a really big case like NBA YoungBoy versus Lil Durk or whatever, I understand. I get it. It was a huge topic in rap and everyone was talking about it and cracking their jokes. This is fucking weird. All he does is talk about death and destruction. Now granted, some of these videos hit a little bit harder than the others. For others, more than me sometimes as well. Now, while some of the New York City based videos haven't really had too much of a relation to me IRL, I have friends from schools that are sadly in the New York City prison system due to gun violence and other people that have been in unlucky situations due to this. I would pass River Park Towers almost every day back in school when I was going to 6th grade, right over the bridge. And tons of other people that actually live in our communities and similar communities also have similar relations to these and way worse, sadly. He treats it like a fucking zoo. It's murder and violence in impoverished communities that he has absolutely no part in and has never been in nor lived in. Now, from one perspective, on one hand, you would think that, you know, if the people from these communities and our communities with a history of gang violence and deep ties into it finally make it big rapping, get a lot of money, they'd move out and leave all the beef back home. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it goes too deep. And sometimes there's just ignorance that plays into it. Sometimes they just keep using that money and fame to just keep pushing more violence and pain onto their own communities. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were worth over $10 million by the time you were in your mid, if not early 20s, basically completed life, had nothing but opportunities to do anything you like, travel the world, buy a nice home, help out your family and friends, buy all the nice cars you want, be able to pivot jobs whenever and not have the rush of having to pay rent or having to pay utilities and having to afford groceries, all that. If all of that was gone for you and you were just done, what would you do? Would you pivot to just all negativity for a big view boost to blow up your fucking channel? No, you wouldn't give a fuck if you were just a normal human being that had common decency of a normal person. For the past 4 years on both of his channels, Trap Loros and Trap Moros, the majority of everything he has been posting has just been all of this bullshit. It's sad, it's disgusting, and it's pathetic as fuck. It's just murder, 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 kill, kill, shoot. On top of that too, that whole war in Chicago thing perpetuated by DJ Academics was also disgusting as fuck. And I hate him too. I hate that fat, disgusting pedophile. All he does is just suck up Aiden for breakfast. I sincerely pray and wish nothing but the absolute fucking worst for both of these subhumans. If I was suicidal and I genuinely wanted to go, the sole reason that would stop me from killing myself is to outlive Aiden Ross, Traplo Ross, and DJ Academics. I would want to outlive them just so I can piss on their fucking graves. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, kitty? That is the only reason why. Fuck anything else.